Hey everybody, Barry at CTech-review. We got a really fun one for you today. We're doing a comparison of the 6 different trim levels of the 2025 Super Duty and what do you get with each of these, and then you could choose what makes sense for you. Let's get into this. You guys watch my channel, you know I do a lot of videos and work with Bob Maxey here in Howell, Michigan. Great dealership. But here's what I want to show you guys. If you remember looking over the last 6+ months, this whole thing was full of Super Duties all the way across, as well as this row, gone. And if you noticed a trend right now, there's not a lot of vehicles here. They've got a ton of space available. This is just wild, the ebbs and flows with inventory we're seeing. And I bring this up because, as I've mentioned other times, I'm trying to get you guys the best bang for the buck and the best deal. And when you see dealers moving inventory like this, there's definitely something going on. People are buying right now. And you can see there's a lot of inventory. They don't even have many F-150s. This was all full. So today, I'm going to take you guys through all the way from an XL to an STX to an XLT to a Tremor Lariat to a King Ranch to a Platinum. This is the 6 different trim levels for the 2025 Super Duty. And what's interesting is there's a ton of nuance and carryover from one to the next. And in some cases, you'll even see some options you can even skip a level. As a perfect example, we look at this XL. This is the lowest trim level for 2025 Super Duty. And then right next to it is the STX. The STX is like a value trim of a XL. It makes it look a little nicer, interior, exterior. But check this out. This thing's got the LED headlights with the nicer grille, but we go up a level to an XLT and it goes back to the standard grille, or sorry, the standard lighting with the chrome grille. And then you just keep going up. What I kind of want to show you guys is, generally speaking, we're going to talk about price. We're going to talk about options, interior, exterior equipment. Make your decision then. Hopefully this helps. All right, so we're first going to start with the XL base level. So for 2025, the base level XL F-350 is now a 6.8 liter V8, not the 7.3. You can still get the 7.3, just costs a little extra. First thing you notice, not body color handles, and you're going to notice the key opening here. You also notice this doesn't have the secure access code. We get in, this has got the hard plastic door, but you still got power windows with auto up windows, and you can still adjust your mirrors. This one does not have power mirrors. Nice storage in the side. You got your speakers, rubber floor, which to me, I'm a big fan of in a work truck like this. I think it's nice. You can easy to clean out. This has cloth interior with manual adjustments. Let's check out the payload. Guys, if you don't look at Super Duties much or heavy duty trucks, 4,709 pounds of payload is some of the most massive payload you can get on a single rear wheel truck. Very incredible. Now, we step inside of this thing. We're going to notice this gets you the upgraded dash and interior that came out a few years ago. Hard touch, but you got good storage above. Open area here. You're going to notice no glove box cover, but a nice glove box down below. This gets you the 8-inch display, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. Standard display, standard HVAC controls. This is touch, which is kind of nice. I like the storage here, okay? Now, 5 years ago, this was like a premium display, and you'd have either like a 3-inch or 5-inch. I don't find an issue with this, and if we look at the backup camera, it's still got a decent backup camera, and I like that you can still zoom in on the hitch. Totally adequate. You got your basic 4-wheel drive with your drive mode. You still got normal, tow haul, eco, slippery, and off-road. What else? Yeah. So you still got all of the different drive modes. That's good. This has a locker in the rear, integrated brake controller, USB-A, C, 12 volt. Does not have dual climate control. You got 12 volt plus a 400 watt inverter button here and this is just a standard center console with your cup holder. But what's nice is you can get a 6th seat here and storage below. Personally, I like the idea of having that ability where you can turn this into another seat. You still got your sunglass holder and you got your aux switches in this particular truck. Hard steering wheel, hard rubber, nice and durable. Still got cruise control. All these trucks have electric parking brakes, so we won't have to talk about that on each of them, but you can kind of see your lighting controls. Check out the second row in an XL. You're gonna get the same theme, interior hard touch, very durable. You get a little cup holder that comes down here, USB-A and a 12 volt. This goes up, but you notice you don't have the storage underneath here, but you do have the nice rubber flooring and you can put a partition underneath here. Otherwise, this is it. No cup holder in the middle, but a durable cloth interior. And one thing I wanted to mention before we go on to the back of this thing is these seats are actually really comfortable. I've noticed this on the new Super Duty. For me, I think these are a really soft, comfortable seat. When you go to the back of the truck at a base level like this, you don't have the spray and bed liner. That's an option on all the trucks. You also notice this doesn't have the step built in, and this has a standard handle, and this will just drop fast. It doesn't have the slow drop tailgate. LEDs are not installed. Fifth wheel prep is not installed. Does not have LED lights in the rear. So it has the corner lights, 2.5-inch hitch. You got your 7-pin, 4-pin. What else? Got steel wheels. Let's look at the window sticker real quick. 25 Super Duty 6.8 Oxford white. It's actually got quite a few options. You got your electronic locking rear diff, FX4 package, skid plates, platform running boards, sliding rear window, snow plow camper package, trailer brake controller, steel wheels, which is interesting that the steel road wheels are a $450 option. That's interesting. 250 amp alternator, cloth seat, $300, privacy, XL chrome package, $325, $59,775. So this thing just squeaks out to get under $60,000. And actually it looks like it's got a pretty nice set of tires. Okay, so here's your XL, $59,775. This one here is not a crew cab, but the interior is going to be very similar as the XL, but just some upgrades. As an example, we go from halogen to LEDs, and look at the shape of the headlight, completely different. We also go from halogen fog lights to LED fog lights, but otherwise the air dams are the same. The grille also gets updated, and we can see right here, this has the front facing cam. But if we go down the sides of the trucks, STX XL, you get a nice little, yeah, that's chrome. This is black, 350. Mirrors look very similar, but this does have the cameras. Okay, now we get an XL, and the first thing I notice, soft touch right here, which is a big deal to me because this is where I rest my elbow when I drive. That little piece is gonna add a nice little bit of comfort. Otherwise, the doors look identical. Seating, still manual. Manual controls. We get inside here, and by the way, 4,853 pounds, but this is a super cab nonetheless. And I'll just kind of show you what the theming looks like, but this is like a little bit of a softer material, and you're gonna still get the same kind of storage in the rear of this in an XL versus an STX and a crew cab. We get in this truck, and you're gonna notice an STX, not gonna notice much difference. Same dash, same above, same storage above, same glove box, same center console, same storage, same seat that goes up and down with storage below. No differences here. Even the same drive modes. You got your integrated brake controller, dash layout, gauges, all the same. Got the same mirror, got the same sunglass holder, got the same aux switches. Really, there's not any difference from the interior. Same steering wheel controls. We get back here, but we notice another thing. This has got the nicer wheels, which is part of the STX package. So you notice you go from the standard steel wheel to these wheels, look really nice. This truck also does not have the step that comes down. It also doesn't have the slow assist tailgate, but it does have LED lights in the box, which is nice. And the next thing you're gonna notice is, got the blind spot indicator with the LED reverse lights, whereas the XL just has the standard light. So you notice it says both say Super Duty down there, but this is a little more premium light in the rear. Painted bumper, otherwise this is identical to the XL truck. But just to show you window sticker on this one, this has the 7.3. Also they paid, and you can notice a $1,000 option, electronic locking diff, FX4 package, snowplow prep, trailer brake, upfitter switches, $61,580. Now, it would even be more expensive. It'd add another few $1,000 when you go from the Super Cab to Super Cruise. So you can start seeing about a $3,000–4,000 price increase when you go from the XL to the STX with the nicer interior and the 7.3. Now, let's go now to a lower level XLT, but this is where the nuances start getting even more interesting, because this has a diesel, and obviously you can add a diesel in any single one of these. You can add a 6.8 in all of these, a 7.3 or a high output. On this XLT, we back to the halogen headlights, but a little more premium grille, and we have the halogen fog lights, same spoiler down below. We still have a, we don't have a steel wheel here. We do have the Bridgestone tires, which is nice. This truck is a 250, not a 350. Add about $900 onto a 250 or 350, and that's the price difference. But now if we notice, guys, STX versus XL, this door looks identical. And that's because it is. But now here's where we're going to start noticing differences. Oh, and by the way, payload, 3,343 pounds. For being a 250 in a crew cab, that's actually really high for a 250 truck. You still have the soft touch here, but nothing else. Otherwise, it's the same. We start glancing over the interior. We're going to notice the seat is a little bit different, but we do now start having electric controls on the seats, which is nice. We jump inside, that this has the center console in the middle, so you no longer have the jump seat, but we don't have dual climate control. All of these gauges are identical. The dash is identical, but here's another change. You got an upper and lower glove box covered now. The gauges here, instrumentation panel, identical. This is identical. This truck, as well as the last STX, both have the 360 cameras, which are nice. Steering wheel is identical, but you do got some nice storage to the sides. You still have the same sunglass holder above, upfitter switches above. All right, we get into the second row of the XLT. We notice this now has a soft touch here as well, so that's nice, a little extra comfort. We do have, in the center console, you do have the USB-A above with a 400 watt, and you got some HVAC controls back here, which is nice. No cup holders here, and no storage here, but we do have carpet in the interior with some storage here, so that's nice. And, by the way, this one does actually have a rear defrost. Now, in this truck particularly, this truck has a spray and bed liner as well as the fifth wheel prep. And now we're going to notice some more changes. This truck also does not have the soft open and closed tailgate, but it does have the step that comes out. So that's a really nice option. And it has, with the fifth wheel prep, you got your plugs inside and you've got your LED lights. So a little more premium there. Otherwise is identical. Oh, and it's got these nice mud flaps. Let's look at the window sticker of the XLT. This, we're going to notice a bit of a bump. So this truck is carbonized gray. It's got the 355 with electronic locking diff, and I can't skip over the $10,495 charge for the diesel. Rapid supplement heater, it's got defrost, $60. That's a good deal, actually. Snowplow camper prep, fifth wheel prep. It's got high capacity trailer tow package, wheel well liners, front and rear, remote start, upfitter switches, tailgate step, tough liner, spray and bed liner, 360 camera, $1,150, and the console upgrade is $300 for a grand total of $75,720. So now, when we went from this truck, this STX, to the XLT, more lower level because it doesn't have the higher grade black or sport appearance package, $14,000 more, but of that $14,000, $10,500 of it is the diesel. Now here's where things are going to get fun again. Now we're going to go to a Lariat, but the unique nuance right away, this is a Tremor Lariat, and the Tremor comes at a premium option, but there are some options that if you're in the market to buying a gas 7.3 and you want 430 gears, there's some reasons to get a Tremor in a 7.3, because you're, instead of paying extra for that option, it's already included in the Tremor package. But now we notice we're back to the LED reflector headlights, the nicer beauty rings around the side, LED fog lights. But you notice the difference here when we go to the XLT to the Tremor, and it doesn't matter if it's Tremor, XLT, Lariat, or Platinum, you get this shorter spoiler for off-road clearance. It's lifted up a little more, and you notice this by looking at the mirror. Look how much higher when you go to 35-inch tires. This is a sick color. You can tell 360 camera. Lariat, you got the body color mirrors here, looks nice. And now we're gonna start noticing other things. You got passive entry, you got body colored door handles, you got a little nicer finish here than, say, lower levels like the STXs and XLs on the side of the door. We open the door, and this is a big upgrade. This is soft touch all above here. So you got soft touch here, nice stitching, soft touch down the doors. We've got power extending, mirrors, power folding. We've got 3 presets. We jump to the B&O speakers. Let's check out the payload here. 3,038 pounds. So 3,038 pounds, we've got actually from diesel 250 to 250, this truck's got about 400 pounds more payload in this 250 versus this Tremor 250. We jump inside, we notice these seats, obviously leather trim, looks really nice, but it's not actually leather. This is Active X for 2025. It feels like leather, it looks like leather, and I bet you it holds up like leather, but it's not actually leather. You got power seats. First thing I notice is number one, these seats are super comfortable. Leather or Active X material steering wheel feels really nice in the hands. Controls look fairly similar, but we notice we got the lane keeping system, but this is where it changes a lot. Soft touch across the top. We got the B&O speaker. This truck specifically has the heads up package. This is a Lariat Ultimate, and this is where things get more complex because the Ultimate package is even more premium than standard Lariat, so it adds a little more cost. You get the covered storage here, wireless charging, USB-A, C, nice little cup holders here, nice soft touch center console, storage below with the USB-A and C, push button start, not plugged in, much bigger display. This is a huge difference in the display. While that's loading, I'll show you got 2 glove boxes, upper and lower, and it's a little more premium touch. You can see this interior is kind of upgraded. We got dual climate control. You got heated and cool seats, heated steering wheel, and then you can just feel the steering wheel is nicer. It just feels nicer. This gauge cluster is all digital now. We went from a little bit of digital and analog to fully digital. You got your speakers above here, speakers in the middle, got your universal home remote, you got your sunglass holder, you got your upfitter switches, then you got this beautiful panoramic sunroof. Looks really nice, and you got some cup holders here. So you can see a big jump from when you go from the XLT to the Lariat, especially a Lariat Ultimate. Now we go to the second row, we carry that same theme. This is soft touch above, and obviously soft touch here. You got your B&O speakers, leather trimmed, heated seats now in the second row. You got your 120 volt, 20 amp connector in the bottom. Now you pick up a cup holder area in the second row and leather or Active X trimmed, and you got the partition storage. And check this out, guys. This has the 2,000 watt inverter generator built in. Now we go to the back here, you got these cool Tremor specific wheels, which if you don't know about the Tremor, one of the other cool things about the Tremor is besides it having really cool 35-inch Duratrac tires and unique wheels, has a different suspension, different shocks, tuned for a little bit off-road capability. These unique running boards, and you have some more skid plating underneath, lockers in the rear, limited slip in the front. This tailgate now has power down tailgate. Hit the button, it drops smooth. You got tailgate step, got the spray and bed liner. This one doesn't have fifth wheel prep, but it does have the LED lights. And let's see if the tailgate goes up. Nope, this doesn't have power up, just power down. We still have the blind spot indicators with the LED rear tail lights. But here's where some more nuances I want to show you guys. Look at this tailpipe tip, just standard stainless. If you jump to other packages, the 7.3 actually gets a chrome tow hook. But otherwise, this is a Lariat Ultimate. Now let's look at the window sticker. This is avalanche gray for one in the color is 7.3. If you want the Tremor package, it is not cheap. The Tremor package is $4,375. If you want the black appearance package, it's $4,295. If you want the Pro Power on board, $985. Moonroof, $1,495. Dual battery. Lariat Ultimate package, if you don't need the Ultimate package, it's $5,075. $82,870. So now you could say for 8,000 bucks more, you could get this over the XLT. But it gets more complicated than that because you would lose the diesel. But if you didn't really care for a Ultimate package and you didn't want the black appearance package, and if you didn't want the 7.3, you could shave $14,000 off this truck if you just wanted a Lariat and you didn't want a Tremor and you didn't want a black appearance package and you didn't want a diesel. So at that point now, you could get this truck for like $8,000 less than an XLT. So you can see where the nuance, these trucks kind of sliding back and forth. Now, we're gonna talk about my favorite version of the Super Duty, and that is the King Ranch. For good reason. This truck is very cool, and you can get the King Ranch in a lot of different versions, but this one is the chrome, and you can see it's got the nice LED reflector headlights. Does not have projector headlights. This has 360 cameras, LED fog lights, got the standard spoiler. It's got a unique wheel for this truck. Kind of see this nice badging here, looks sharp. Got the Power Stroke diesel, got chrome mirrors above, so you can see kind of difference, body color chrome. You get the chrome door handles. You also get the chrome around the window. This is another premium. You get the chrome around the trim of the window, whereas the Lariat is just a standard rubber. This still has the brighter finish on the pillars, but does not have the secure access code. Let's open the door in the King Ranch. This is an incredible interior. It's supple, it smells awesome. It sounds silly, but it really does. This like Rawlings baseball material, just the finish looks awesome. All the stitching along the sides of the door, and it carries through. You kind of get this brown material above. It says King Ranch right here, looks sick. All these controls though are identical to the Lariat. B&O speakers, get this cool entry. It says King Ranch. Look at these seats, incredible. Now we're into real leather, not an Active X material at this point. And you can just feel it is incredible. The stitching above just looks really nice, and it carries all that through. Now let's look at the payload on this truck. 4,079 pounds. Still incredible that a single rear wheel truck can get a payload that high. We get inside this truck, and we notice the same coloring, the same theme. You got your tweeter, heads up display, the same brown soft touch material. Now you get a unique glove box cover, and look at this cool display here, this King Ranch that kind of, it's like shows a scene of a ranch. Just awesome. I love this truck. Nice glove box, nice controls. This is identical to a Lariat. This cover, this is unique for the King Ranch. This is all the same, but then the center console, incredible. Established 1853. Very premium touch. Same storage, but man, this material feels nice. And this steering wheel, incredible. They take that same Rawlings baseball glove type material, put the King Ranch in the steering wheel. All the controls are the same. Start this thing up. This is a diesel. Got the same huge display, engine braking above, same digital dash here. This one also has the panoramic sunroof. Really premium, nicely appointed. I like the color of the interior. Got your drive mode still, and you've got your integrated brake controller. All your controls on the side are the same. This truck has the power running boards, which look really nice. And now we get to this row, the same soft touch material on middle of the door and up. Incredible. B&O speakers, same rear seating. You got the cool King Ranch stitching. Headrests are the same material for all three headrests in the rear, and then you got your center console here. I like that they carry that same material. They didn't skimp out and just only put it in the front row. This feels really premium in the second row. You got the same partition storage down below. You got your USB-A and your heated seats, and then this is a unique finish across the HVAC controls in the bottom. 400-watt inverter. And then now we go to the back here, and you notice it's got center caps. Like I mentioned, the wheels are unique to the King Ranch. Now this still has the standard halogen rear bulbs, but you do have the LED backup bulbs, but you do get now the King Ranch applique on the rear, which looks incredible. You get a power drop tailgate. This has the step built in. This truck did not come equipped with fifth wheel prep, but it does have the LED lighting in the rear. This has also now, you get power up tailgate, which is really nice. You get the chrome tailpipe tips, looks sharp. And if you're wondering what color this is, guys, this is antimatter blue. 25, this is the standard output Power Stroke 10,495. It doesn't have a ton of options because it pretty much loaded out. This does have the chrome package, electronic rear diff, roof clearance lights, twin panel sunroof for $94,485. So now we have just went from $82,000 to $94,000. So you can say, holy cow, $12,000 more than the Lariat. But here's the thing, of that $12,000, $10,500 of it is the diesel engine. So if you were okay with getting a 7.3, man, there wouldn't be but about $1,500 difference if you went a non-trimmer 7.3 F-350 King Ranch versus the Lariat Tremor. Once again, you can start seeing the overlap. And if you want to see height, FX4 versus Tremor, you can kind of see there's a bit of a difference as far as height. This truck's probably 1.5 inches or so higher. All right, now we go to the final trim, which is the Platinum. And I just kind of want to show you some unique things you're going to start noticing. Number one, it's got its own unique front grille. Okay, so you get this black appearance package with this additional satin finish trim in the middle. You get the chrome Ford emblem in the middle, but now you finally get to projector LED headlights, and these are a much premium option for the headlights over the reflector LEDs. Still LED headlights in a few of these models, but this is the projector headlight. You got the LED fog lights and you got your standard spoiler down below. This truck has also a unique wheel, and there is another version of the Platinum that's even higher than this called the Platinum Plus, but it has some unique nuances as well. This truck is pretty loaded out. It's got the high output. It's got, if you notice this bracket in here, that is for the Pro Steering Assist. So one of my favorite things for 2025 about the Platinum is I like that they offer a sporty Platinum package. It's not just a chrome appearance package on a Platinum. This is a more sporty version, which I actually prefer. I like the blacked out look versus the chrome look. And you kind of see they carry it through the front, through the wheels, through the door caps. You don't have the chrome on the sides of the doors now. This is like from more of the Lariat, but then you still got some nice features like the power running boards. We open up the interior. Now we're going to start getting a little bit different material. This is Alcantara, soft touch leather above, a really cool looking interior theme coloring right here. This material looks sharp. This is soft touch. I like this blue Alcantara stitching, just looks sharp. B&O speaker, storage down below. We got the Platinum entry. What's the payload on this bad boy? 3,835 pounds. Look at these seats though. This is a new color, new interior option for 2025. Instead of the Carmelo and the brown interior leathers, now you can get a black with this blue accenting. And I think it looks really sharp. I actually like it more. We get to the steering wheel. Now we're to a leather steering wheel, not the baseball rolling style and not the Active X material. This is a special leather for the Platinum. Stitching's a little different, shows the Platinum through here. The dash, we got soft touch again, heads up display, B&O speakers, self-dimming rear view mirror. This one does not have the upfitter switches, so you can see what it would look like without it, but it does have the sunglass drop. And then you have another unique cover for the top glove box, and then it just says Super Duty above this area, and then you got your lower glove box. Dual climate control is identical to the Lariat and above. Nothing in this area is different. The gauges are the same. The infotainment area is the same. Storage here is all the same. This cover is unique for the Platinum. Storage down below here is the same, but you do have this really cool themed Platinum cover for the center console. Looks really sharp, and then obviously this one has the panoramic sunroof. Now let's go to the second row. Carries that same Alcantara material, same trim here, soft touch, stitching, B&O speakers, same storage in the second row, same dual climate, same HVAC controls, same 20 amp connection, USB-A, C, heated seats. Same cup holder as the Lariat and King Ranch, but you do get the Platinum badging above and its own specific leather, and you can tell this is really nice and soft. And this has the partition folded down, so you can kind of see what it looks like in the folded down position. And then you do have your Pro Power on board up here. We get back here. As I mentioned, this has got its own unique wheels for the Platinum. Here's another change when you jump to the Platinum. I want to kind of show you guys. So halogen rear tail lights here, okay? LED. This is a different material now in the rear light. So this is a full LED. So backup, reverse, as well as your standard lighting on the back of the Platinum is a full LED light. And then this is a new badging for 2025. This is instead of it used to just saying Platinum, that's for the Platinum Plus package applique, which is more like chromed out like the King Ranch. This is the standard Platinum applique, which is black and just says Platinum, and it just says Super Duty, I'm sorry. Now this one does have the tailgate down. You got tailgate step that comes out. This one has fifth wheel prep with your connection 7.4 point box link, and you got your LED lighting, power up rear tailgate. You got your chrome exhaust. And if you're wondering what color this is called Star White. You can really see this in the lighting. It looks really good. All right, let's look over the window sticker on this truck now. So Star White, Onyx, Platinum blue leather interior. Important to know if you want the Platinum Plus, it's a different color interior. This has the high output diesel for $12,995, electronic locking diff, all-weather floor mats, engine block heater, Pro Power on board $985, snow prep pack $250, fifth wheel prep $550, roof clearance lights $95, moon roof twin panel $1495, spray and bed liner $595 for a grand total of $100,365. Okay, What's even more wild, guys, there's actually a Platinum Plus version that's about another, I think it's like another $5,000 to $6,000. And for 2025, the Platinum Plus kind of replaced the Limited from 2024. So they tried to basically condense, instead of having like 7 trim levels, they've got 6, and they basically just share the Platinum. So you get a little bit unique interior to that. I would almost call it like the Navigator of Super Duties. That would be my thought. Another thing I wanted to show you guys here. Okay, before I forget, yes, the Platinum does have massaging seats for driver and passenger side. You can kind of see that working right there. You can get to that menu through the display, or you can just hit this button on the side of the seat. Why is that important? Because you can get that same feature on the King Ranch. If you're just really wanting massaging seats, the King Ranch is the lowest trim level that you can get massaging seats now for 2025. So we go $100,000 Platinum with the high output diesel to the King Ranch with the standard output diesel. For $6,000, you could get the King Ranch. But of that $6,000, really of it, like $2,500 of that is the diesel engine. So these are really closely priced. You just got to ask yourself, do you want the different color interior? Do you want the projector headlights and the more expensive taillights? Maybe that's the reason you might go to Platinum. Interior wise though, I like the feeling of the leather a little bit more in the King Ranch. But if really you just want a interior that is non-cloth, you got to really jump to the Lariat. That's where it gets you into a non-cloth interior of the other 3 variants, but it's not leather anymore. This is now Active X material for 2025. Lariat leather now starts at King Ranch. But if you really don't want a Tremor and you really don't want a XL Lariat, you can jump into something like this for $75,000. And you got a really nice truck, high value, a lot of the same appointments. Or you can jump into something like this for 63 grand, or an XL for $59,000. Okay, we've now popped the hood across all these trucks, and I'm gonna kind of show you some different things. We're gonna start right here. This is a 6.8 liter truck. You notice there's no sort of insulation on the hood, but you do have hood struts. Very simple. 1 battery, simple intake, a ton of room for serviceability. Changing these spark plugs would be a pretty easy thing to do. But this is a simple truck. You notice there's no aluminum bracket right here because this truck does not have the Pro Steer Assist, but you can still see how basic, how serviceable, air filters in a good spot. Very simple junction boxes up here. Now we go to this truck. This is 7.3 liter. Next thing we notice, this has a second battery right here. The intake, believe it or not, the intakes are different. A lot of people say these trucks are identical. The intakes are different between a 6.8 and 7.3. Notice the intake runner's a little bit different. This coolant reservoir is now moved because of the second battery. But serviceability is still very easy in one of these trucks. Air filters in a good location, spark plugs, no insulation above the hood. Now went from XL STX XLT. Now we're in a Power Stroke diesel, and you notice a lot going on. This is a standard output, and you're going to see these blue silicone boots. We're going to show you something different around this in a minute. We've got standard vacuum boost here, not hydro boost, but you got coolant system. A lot going on here. Not as easy to service, but it is a lot going on. You got your coolant system, intake, still the filter's still in an easy spot to work on, but you got your junction boxes in the rear, no insulation above. Now we're in a Lariat. Back to a 7.3 dual battery, coolant reservoirs in the same spot. Everything's pretty similar, but you will notice some of the, where can I find this? The front breather tube, some of the axle breather tubes for off-road, they've raised them up a little bit so you have a little more clearance for water forwarding depth. That's changed a little bit. You're also going to notice something else. See this bracket here? Now we've got Pro Steer Assist, which comes on every Tremor. And that feature is one of the features that has a big difference in the driving characteristics of what the steering wheel feels like going down the road. Me personally, I would like to get a Super Duty only with that package because it rides and drives so much better going down the road in our terrible Michigan roads. Now, we're in a King Ranch, standard output diesel, so it's gonna look very much the same as XLT under the hood. No differences in this area, but we do get the liner for the hood. Hood struts on all of these. You don't have to use a prop rod. That's nice. And now we go to the Platinum, and this Platinum is the high output. So we're gonna notice a little extra cooling lines here for the turbo. We go from the blue to the red turbo silicone boots. Coolant's in the same location, brake boost system, same, EGR cooling, batteries, serviceability is identical in that regard. Air filters in the same location. You got insulation on the hood. This truck also has the bracket for the Pro Steer Assist. And if you wanted to kind of compare the good, better, best, so XL and STX without remote start, this is what this is going to look like. You don't have passive entry, so you got to put the key in the ignition, and you notice there's no remote start. The next step up is this one, which would be XLT or STX. You still got to put the key in the ignition, not passive entry, but you do see the remote start button, and you can see it says Ford on the back. Or you get to the Lariats and other packages with the passive entry, says Ford in the rear. Tailgate drop, you notice now, is added to this, so you can kind of see the difference between lock, unlock, remote start, or passive entry with tailgate assist. I know this is a lot to cover and kind of talk about the different nuances, and I probably missed some things, and if I did, leave your comments down below. But generally, I want to kind of show you guys, you can go from $105,000, $107,000 to $59,000. You can almost have two of these, just shy, for one Platinum. And you got to ask yourself, which one of these different trims is the best for you? And I think it's cool that Ford gives you so many different options. For me, having kids, or you're in construction environment, I kind of like the surfaces that are not cloth. You can also do cat skin after the fact and put it on like an XL, STX, or XLT. I like the LED headlights, even if they're not a projector headlight like on a Lariat, they still work pretty good, but the projector headlights on the Platinum are really good. And I know some people are bummed that when Ford went away from the full LED taillights on a Lariat that was prior to 2023 model year, there's actually some benefits to this, and I mentioned this in other videos, but one of the benefits is if you are using your truck off-road, if you are using your truck in a construction or site that the truck's getting beat up, replace one of these taillights versus a Platinum. This is gonna be several $1,000s less expensive, so that's a good thing. Another benefit to having a halogen rear taillight or halogen headlights versus LED, you're in cold weather. I've mentioned one of the benefits to halogen headlights is the assembly gets warmer, snow and ice doesn't build up. So when we're driving and pulling trailers in the wintertime, I actually like halogen headlights for that one reason. My headlights work a little better when there's snow on them versus the LED headlights. They don't put off any heat on them to keep the snow and ice off. I'm also a big fan of Pro Trailer Steer Assist, not because I've ever used the Pro Trailer Steer Assist, but because of that aluminum bracket with the additional assisted steering. It makes the steering on these things feel like seriously like an F-150. And for that reason, I think that's a great option. The interior, there's so many different overlap. It just really got to ask yourself, what engine, what trim? Do you want trim? Do you not want trimmer? Do you want black appearance package? Do you want chrome appearance package? There's so much overlap across all these trucks. Hey, I want to thank Bob Maxey and Josh Wisniewski. If you're interested in any of these trucks, reach out to these guys. I'll put their information down below. They're a great dealership, no BS, small town, and they've still got some Super Duties available, which is great, and you can check and see what rebates are available. Hey, I was gonna add, if you guys wanna see a drive review of 6.8 versus 7.3, or standard output versus high output fuel economy loops, I'll put a link down below because I've already done those videos, and I know a lot of people are not aware of that, but I do want to show you, we did do some mile per gallon loops, as well as talking about the drive impressions of without Pro Steer Assist versus Pro Steer Assist and how it impacts the ride quality. Hey guys, if you enjoy this video, you want to see more stuff like this, leave your comments down below. I'd like to get your feedback on how I can better help you guys with the channel. Thanks for watching.